ready? Very soon, we are going to begin with today's session. Our expert for today's session, Professor Damandev Sood sir, Professor of Practice, Chitkara University, Himachal Pradesh, and IEEE Ethics Champion, has already joined us. IEEE senior member Subramaniam Krishnamurthy sir has also joined us. Welcome to the session, sir.
Good evening, ma'am. Good evening to all.
Thank you, sir. So, dear participants, we are all set to begin with today's session. I would say 177th IEEE IET BVI CAM Technical Lecture Series. Topic for today's session is Future of Jobs is Changing. Are you ready? Professor M.N. Huda sir, Director, Bharati Vidyapeeth Institute of Computer Applications and Management and Chairperson, IEEE Delhi Section, has also joined us. Good evening, Huda sir. Welcome to the session.
Good evening, everyone. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
And good evening, Mr. Daman. How are you?
Good evening. All well, sir. Thank you very much.
Good. Great.
Sir, should we begin?
Yes, please start.
Thank you, sir. A very pleasant evening to all distinguished panelists and participants. Bharati Vidyapeeth Institute of Computer Applications and Management, BVI CAM, in association with Computational Intelligence Society, CIS chapter of IEEE Delhi Section, Computer Society CS chapter of IEEE Delhi Section, Technology and Engineering Management Society, TEMS chapter of IEEE Delhi Section, System, Man and Cybernetics, SMC Society chapter of IEEE Delhi Section, Communication Society of IEEE Delhi Section, Consultants Network Affinity, CNA Group of IEEE Delhi Section, Life Member Affinity, LMA Group of IEEE Delhi Section, Inter-Society Relations, IRS Standing Committee of IEEE Delhi Section, Industry Relation and Special Interest Group on Humanitarian Technology, Site Standing Committees of IEEE Delhi Section, Region 10 of IEEE with the associations of Computer Society of India, CSI, Institute of Information Technology Professionals, IITP, ISTE Delhi Section, and IETE Delhi Center as technical collaborators welcomes you all to the IEEE IETE BVI CAM Technical Lecture Series on Future of Jobs is Changing. Are you ready? With immense pride and honor, we are delighted to announce that we, with united hands, mark special contribution for the monumental occasion, Golden Jubilee celebrations of the IEEE Delhi Section. From 13th May 2025 to 12th May 2026, we mark 50 years of this vibrant and pioneering section, a journey that began in 1976 and has since shaped the technological and professional landscape of Northern India through innovation, collaboration, and learning. This webinar is an initiative to celebrate this legacy. According to Raymond Weigel Martin, at various points in your careers, you will be called to take a risk. And I think you will find, as I have found, those will be the times of your greatest opportunities. The World Economic Forum's Future of Jobs Report 2025 is out. Let us learn how the job space is expected to unfold in the coming years. What is in demand? What is new in demand? What is getting phased out? Knowing this will help us be resilient, future ready. As a student, educationist, administrator, policymaker, or even a forward looking parent, our expert for today's session will make you riper, redeployable, incrementable, promotable, employable, and retainable. One more or all of these are required by all of us in our jobs. I would first take this opportunity to welcome amongst us our distinguished panelists for the day. We are privileged to have amongst us a galaxy of experts. I would first welcome amongst us Professor Emin Huda Sir, Director, Bharati Vidyapeeth's Institute of Computer Applications and Management, BVI CAM, and Chairperson IEEE Delhi section to address the participants with his inspiring words. Over to you, sir.
Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Good evening, one and all. At the outset, let me take this opportunity to welcome my dear friend, Mr. Daman, who has readily agreed to deliver this very, very important session on future of jobs in the changing dynamics, in the changing ecosystem. I also take this opportunity to welcome all my friends from various other professional societies, including Professor Subramaniam Krishnamurthy, who keep on waiting for the webinars and have joined here. Dear friends, all of you are aware that this webinar series was started 5 years ago in the month of May, that is 20th May 2020. And since then, we are continuing this under affiliation with IEEE, IET, CSI, BVI CAM weekly evening webinar, Saturday webinar series. This is 177th edition of that webinar, which we started 5 years ago in the backdrop of COVID. And a similar webinar session was done in the year 2021 as well, when the reports came out. And now again, we are doing it. All of us are aware that the entire world is agile, changing very fast. Everything in and around us are changing, and entire ecosystem is changing. Things which remain valid today is no more valid tomorrow, and things which remain valid yesterday is no more valid today. And it will keep on changing at a much faster pace. So what will make us relevant? What will make us important for the changing ecosystem? That need to be deliberated. That need to be discussed. That also talks about resiliency. What should we do in our life so that what kind of upskilling, reskilling is required so that we are relevant in the changing ecosystem for which Mr. Daman has been invited, because he is a resilience expert as well. And then he keeps on studying the various reports by various agencies. And fortunately, all of you will be happy. Dr. Ritika has already said that from 13th of May, 2025 to 12th of May, 2026, IEEE Delhi section, who is the part of or the pioneer for this webinar, is celebrating its 50th anniversary. When it comes 50th anniversary, what have we done and what are supposed to be done? That need to be deliberated. In that, what are supposed to be done? For that, the challenges ahead to be analyzed. And this future of jobs in the changing dynamics is an important concern and challenge before all of us. So if we do not deliberate and discuss on this topic, do not sensitize our membership base at large, how people will be aware. That was the purpose of organizing this webinar. Thank you so much, Mr. Daman, for being with all of us. And dear friends, there are almost more than 10 webinars have already been notified. Till August 31st, the Saturdays are fixed and have been notified for the people. You register for them if you are not registered for the any of those webinars till date. And because if you register in advance, you will keep on getting information based on the registration detail in advance, and join us for making this 50th anniversary in online and offline mode both most historic, memorable occasion. Thank you so much. Wish you all the best. God bless you all, and keep learning despite disruptions. Over to you, Dr. Ritika.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for the motivating words. With this, I will now welcome amongst us our expert, Dr. Professor Daman Devsood, sir, with an e-bouquet.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Welcome to the session once again. Professor Damandev Sood sir is a professor of practice at Chitkara University, Himachal Pradesh. With over 39 years in the industry and over 2 decades in the resilience domain, Sir is a certified and international and corporate trainer with over 15,500 hours of training teaching experience, achieving 100% NPS and holding 18 copyrights. He is a published author of 10 published books on resilience. In his professional journey with corporates like TCS, Zansa, Continuity, and Resilience, City Innovates, EY, HSBC, Sir has played various senior executive roles like principal consultant, group head, practice head, COO, CIO, VP, board member, program director, etc. Sir has traveled, worked to in over 20 countries. An international speaker, Sir has served clients in various industry sectors. During his journey, he has also won multiple national and global awards and has also been inducted into the BCI Hall of Fame. Currently director at the one-person company DBT Training and Consultancy, Sir serves as an international resilience trainer and consultant. He is also the chair ad hoc committee for Golden Jubilee celebrations IEEE Delhi section. We are honored to have you amongst us, sir, and I would now request you to kindly enlighten the house.
Thank you very much. Is my presentation visible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Great. So good evening, everyone, once again. There's going to be some exercise also in the session today. As Dr. Ritika and Professor Boda said, we are celebrating the Golden Jubilee of IEEE Delhi section. And we say 50 years of impact, innovation, resilience, and leadership. There's a lot in store. It's just the second month. And we have full year to go ahead. Please keep looking forward to. If you have not been receiving communication about this and about all other activities of IEEE Delhi section, please get in touch with us. And I'm beginning with a question. This is not a poll. Please move your fingers. What is one biggest challenge for you today? As a student, educationist, administrator, professional, policymaker, or even a forward-looking parent. In the chat box, please. I'm monitoring the chat box. What is the biggest challenge in front of you today? I was expecting this topic would be close to so many hearts that there will be thousands and thousands of people logging in today, because this is open for parents also. The topic also is very important to parents. Quickly, your responses, please. Move your fingers in the chat box. What is one biggest challenge for you today? When I say today, I do not mean today, the day 21st of June. I mean to say in your life, the biggest challenge. Surprisingly, no responses. I'll say my challenge then. Good that people do not have a challenge in life. Bracing to the upcoming new technological alterations is one response, which is right. So to this question, there wouldn't be any right or wrong answer. Your challenge could be different from my challenge. A common challenge, but I believe, is the job. And that's why the session today is about future of jobs. Everyone would be concerned about this. You, me, we all. And I'm repeating, who all? The student who is about to step into the corporate world, whichever corporate, and corporate could be an institute also teaching at the university, a faculty. for educationists, for administrators, for professionals like me, policymakers, or for parents also. The biggest challenge, one of the biggest challenge today is the job and the future of jobs. Also, because of the recent happenings, I do not have proof with me, but going by the media, the number is large. 7,000 employees removed from a company. 2 companies and big corporates of the world. I'm not naming them. So this session is expected to make you riper, which stands for redeployable. When the jobs are at stake, jobs were always scarce. More people, less number of jobs. But now today are at risk also. Then we need to think differently. And for that reason, my formula is to be riper and become redeployable, become incrementable. If we feel that we are not getting increments or we are not getting good increments, become promotable if I'm looking forward to a promotion, employable also if I'm looking for the first one, and also redeployable, retainable, very important. The company is thinking, and company once again is any organization, any institute. I'm not saying the corporate world only. Government, non-government, PSUs, universities, institutes, all included, that they feel that they need to retain the money. That's what my intention should be. And with that, I need to have my actions accordingly. Today, because we keep the sessions for hour only, this is an eye-opener starting point. Let's understand the scenario and who could be better than WEF, World Economic Forum, who produced this report, Future of Jobs report, every year for last 4 years or so. This year's report was published in January, about 6 months ago. Good news is highly valuable document is available to all of you freely from WEF website. So the job market is evolving rapidly and resilience plays a critical role. We need to be resilient. It will not happen sitting at home. I will have to work towards it. I'll have to work for it. I need to work hard. Oh, I have already been working hard for my studies. For example, if I'm a student or a researcher, then Daman, you need to work harder. Then only you will be riper. So next few slides, going a bit fast, but only giving you a glimpse of what is in the report. Full report, readily available to be downloaded by all and free. That's very good news. If you look at this, what we understand is that the job creation and displacement trends highlight the dual challenges of growth and loss. Both are happening hand in hand. It's not that it's only loss. The jobs are increasing also. Resilience practitioners. So it doesn't mean I'm a resilience expert, trainer, and consultant. So I'm talking about people like me only. No, we all need to be resilience practitioners. So resilience practitioners must address both to ensure continuity of our jobs also, if you want to say that specifically. From 25 to 2030, in these 5 years, net growth of 7% of 78 million jobs is expected. And these are global figures. When we go deep into the report, we may be able to find geography-specific and nation-specific, country-specific data also, which may be a little different. Global averages, for example, would be different, can be different from Indian averages. Also, this report helps us to understand that there has been largest growing and declining jobs. So a list has been produced. we see a significant demand of jobs related to agriculture, technology, and healthcare. For example, roles like farm workers, software developers, and nursing professionals are thriving. Keep in mind that this is global view, not necessarily Indian view or any other country's view. We need to go deep to see the country-specific information. We see the decline of roles like cashiers, administrative assistants, and stock-keeping clerks. Automation and digitalization are major drivers for this shift. We all understand this is not rocket science, that automation is expected, at least the fear that we all have, including going forward, maybe towards the end of the discussions, we'll touch upon what is the talk of the town today, the AI technology, that it may take jobs away, including the reports for those two companies that I mentioned in the beginning of my talk, 7,000, roughly both companies, so many jobs removed, so many people removed because of AI. That was the news. We need to take this with a pinch of salt. We'll see this a little later. If you look at 5 key labor market drivers, the green transition is driving job creations. Once again, it's so obvious. Within green, recently we had taken another webinar which was about solar business, which is linked with the green environment, sustainability, resilience also. And the speaker, our expert at that time, was highly assuring that the number of jobs required in that field also are huge. So especially in sectors like agriculture, energy, and transportation, green jobs. And these drivers demand more focus on sustainability and resilience practices. Quickly, most of us, many of us around the globe, this is not only India view, this is globally, most of us, the moment we think of sustainability, we think of carbon emissions and environment. Sustainability to me is not only that. Sustainability is the overall sustainability of the business. And once again, business does not mean a corporate. All units, all organizations are business. It may be not for profit. It may be for citizens, but it's all business. So overall, sustainability of the business, and that's where then I bring business continuity and resilience into picture with sustainability. And this is as simple as just surviving, I would say. Sorry. So if you look at this slide, which is titled as Digital Access, Cost of Living, and Green Transition Trends are Driving Business Transformation. There is a saying that change is the only constant in the world, in the life. And the change is happening at a very fast pace. So we should stay with that change or that transformation. If I give a quick example, if I'm studying civil engineering, or if I'm studying electronics engineering, the data, the information, the report may show that the jobs are declining there, may show the jobs are declining there. I shouldn't be too worried immediately. I shouldn't be running away from my education from that stream. But I need to do more for sure. This is how I will stay in the race. We need to work hard. Competition is difficult. AI has been said already, and I said I'll touch up towards end of the talk also. But today, no talk, no discussion can be complete without talking about AI. Energy technologies are most likely to drive business transformation. This change that is happening at a very fast pace in the world, in the industry, is because of AI, a new technology, robotics, and energy technologies. Automation and AI are game changers, but also pose risks such as skill gaps and workforce transitions. As the business is transforming, we need to transform ourselves, whether we are students, educationists, policymakers, professionals, working professionals, for example, or even parents. Once again, this session would have been of interest to parents also. Resilience practitioners, which once again is all of us, must integrate these changes into continuity planning to mitigate potential disruptions. So disruption, disaster, crisis, or risk is inevitable. We need to be prepared to manage those, to face those. And that's why session is attempting to make you riper, ready for future. Again, the slide long list showing fastest growing and fastest declining jobs by 2030, the next 5 years, not immediate. Technology still remains to be growing fastest, and this includes all technology. With respect to job creation, more than 50% belonging to this area. If you look at this slide, left-hand side, blue dots, more than 50% are related to technology. If you look at right-hand side, though, traditional routine desk jobs are likely to see decline. So I need to be redeployable in RIPER, redeployable. This should be treated as the risk of technology adoption and automation. And upskilling and reskilling, Professor Hoda had mentioned that. That is what the way out is. Not running away from my stream, not being worried too much, not being stressed, but attempting to upskill and reskill. Learning and sharing is lifelong, and no one is perfect in this world, my friends. Let me tell you, I believe in this strongly. I'm a lifelong learner myself. I have registered for a course this afternoon, and I keep learning daily. We all need to do that. Otherwise, survival is difficult. The report says 39% of workers' core skills will change by 2030. So there's most likely that you may be in these 39%. Look forward to reskilling and upskilling, as has been said. Upskilling and reskilling will be essential for workforce resilience. Creative thinking, resilience, and adaptability are among the top skills we need to cultivate. Now, some of these phrases, words are very nice, so easy, and are not new. These have been in existence for centuries. I'm talking of just creative thinking, or what creative thinking gives rise to. It leads to innovation. That's what is required. So innovation doesn't mean that I invent something new, a big bang product, even if it's small improvement. So continual improvement is required in life, even in my learning, the way I learn. During my introduction, Dr. Ritika had said that I hold 18 copyrights. 19th is being applied this evening. And that's not a big change. It's just a process that I have developed, which is towards customer delivery and customer delight process. As simple as that. I set up, started thinking, if I'm a customer, what do I expect? And that's what I should be providing to my customers. And I have developed that. So this creative thinking, innovation is very important in life. I'm repeating, this does not mean, need not mean a big bang new invention. So core skills listed here, top 10 for 2025. Analytical thinking, resilience, flexibility, and agility. Resilience has been said at least 10 times so far within first 30 minutes of the talk. Leadership and social influence, creative thinking coming again, motivation and self-awareness, technological literacy. I need to understand if technology is changing, I need to learn. Empathy and active listening. So human angle comes while we started with the technology, but we cannot, must not forget the human angle. Empathy and active listening, curiosity and lifelong learning. I said that earlier also about myself as well. Talent management, service orientation, and customer services. Top 10 core skills for 2025 according to WEF Future of Jobs Report 2025. Lifelong learning is important again and again. I would like to share a live case. A power and water transmission company in Abu Dhabi recently employed us, including me also, as consultants for the one or first of its type BCM competency management project. Most companies gave us challenge of implementing business continuity in 4-6 months or so. This company spent 6 months only on competency management. And while that ended as one project, but then this competency management, which was, if you look at number 9, talent management here also, on competency management only 6 months dedicated. So that's the way we need to think, people need to think, organizations need to think, the world needs to think. And if we look at for next 5 years, fastest growing skills, AI and big data perhaps wouldn't pose any surprises. Networks and cybersecurity, once again, cybersecurity should not pose any surprises. Technological literacy, because technology is increasing at a fast rate, we all need to then adapt to it. We need to learn using it. Creative thinking, number 4, resilience, flexibility, and agility. So some of these we would see that there is not much difference from 2025 till 2030. For 5 years, these will continue. So now, based on this, I can plan the time to be ready for 2030 is not in 2030, but now. That's why we are discussing this report today. Leadership and social influence, talent management, analytical thinking, and environmental stewardship. While it appears at number 10, environmental stewardship, but we all understand the whole world is going through difficult times with respect to environmental changes. So this will keep us busy, or this should be in front of us, in our minds. We should be working on this, learning this, something like that. Sorry. Technological literacy is at number 6 as core skill in 2025. But by 2030, it will be in top 3 as fastest growing skills. Resilience skills seem to be slowing down in growth only, not in requirement. That's what I'm saying. That numbers may tell us different stories sometimes, but these are global numbers. We need to bring these down to our country, if required, to our city, state also. Requirement of resilience will not go down. All of us, so if there are 1.4 billion people in India, 7 billion, 7.5 perhaps now in the world, everyone is a resilience professional. I'm saying that repeatedly. If you attempt to see the whole world as 100 people, 41 of them would not need upskilling by 2030. 29 would be upskilled in their current role. So if, for example, I'm a plumber, I will be retrained on new technology in plumbing, but I'll still be in the same job. 19 would be upskilled and redeployed. So that's why we need to be redeployable in my RIPER model. And 11, so 11%, all these will become percentages. 11% would be unlikely to receive the necessary upskilling. And that's what is the challenge, that I should be either in the 41 or 29 or 19, but not in 11. The work must start now. A self-check is required on where do you fall, where do you stay. And individuals as well as organizations should look at deploying counselors, and that's what is required. We need more counselors. That is one of the skills, or that's one of the new job that will be required, that is required. Now, more counselors are required, even if it doesn't come in top 10. But that's one of the areas that we all can look forward to. Coaches, mentors. So these three may go hand in hand. Counselors, coaches, and mentors. This job or these jobs are coming up jobs. And a lot of money also, if you want to say that way. So for my career progression, it's okay if I change. I become a counselor, coach, or mentor. The challenge for the industry is that there is a gap, skills gap, and that hinders or slows down the business transformation. The impression from this interpretation of this slide is that the organizations must admit that resilience does not only mean technology or building failure. My saying is, well, the organization, once again, all organizations look to be resilient, but resilient people make resilient organizations. So we need to look at personal resilience also. And I'll soon be opening up my new adventure, if you want to call it adventure, is in line with personal resilience. And the process, the 19th copyright that I said, is also towards personal resilience, because resilient people make resilient organizations. Resilient organizations will make resilient communities, which will make the resilient planet that we look forward to. And soft governance like talent and competency management are equally important. Upskilling is the top workforce strategy for employers by 2030. So this is what message is for the employers also. It's not that I, as an employee, cannot survive without upskilling. My organization cannot survive if they do not upskill me. So that way, message coming with double force. The upper half is the mitigation answer to the risks seen in the lower half. Quickly, what does it mean? If you look at the lowest one is offshore significant parts of your workforce. But answer could be upskill your workforce. That's what I mean to say. Lower half seems to be the risks, but upper half is the mitigation solution. Both available in single sheet, single slide, and in the report with the details. Talent attraction, talent management, competency management is a challenge. We discussed that. This gets linked with this one. How do we attract and how do we retain the people, employee, talent? By well-being. Think about doing good for your employees. That's what, once again, is a message for the corporates, for the employers, I mean to say. Personal resilience, and upskilling and career progression will be given more priority compared to pay packets. So this is expected, that I may not be so much interested in looking at what is the pay packet, but how much reskilling, upskilling opportunities does this company provide to me? While skills-based hiring has been talked in past few years, degree requirements may continue. So the talk has been in the world. Do not look at my degree, my education, look at my experience. But it seems for some period, at least these next 5 years, skills will be looked into, but the basic requirement for employment will still continue to be the education. And remote or hybrid work or working hours are not top of the mind for top management. Talent was a challenge for most organizations. Talent continues to be the challenge. While we see those numbers once again keep haunting us, large corporates, two of the largest corporates in the world, removing in thousands. But at the same time, the employers, we keep struggling to get the good resources also, skilled resources also. Reskilling and upskilling still top the chart. This is what is coming here again and again. Funding for reskilling and upskilling. This is what we see here. To improve talent availability, employers want governments to develop the talent pipeline. Well, the message here seems to be the action being on government. But once again, I'll say we all are part of this ecosystem. We all need to work. So the government, yes. The employer, yes. But the employee also needs to work towards this to be more resilient. Very important topic these days, part of our life is DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion. This adoption is on the rise in all organizations across globe. 83% of employers who participated in this survey for creating this report have DEI priorities. So quickly, if you look at share of employers identifying each group as a DEI program priority. Women at top, 76% in DEI, which stands for diversity, equity, and inclusion. Most organizations today are running this program, DEI program, and this tells us that the top priority is given to women. But then we see there are some with disabilities, youth, older workers. That is also important because they have a lot of knowledge and experience, which is useful. And we go up to the last one, we say migrants, refugees, and displaced workers. All need to be thought about. That's what the message is. The remaining 17% may like to think this is may like to link this to their resilience program to bring focus. So 83% employers have DEI priorities, but 17% do not have. That's not good. The message for them is they should also start these programs. Women, persons with disabilities, and Generation Z are the focus. Innovative ideas may be required to employ, engage, and retain them. So innovation, not only from me, the employee, but innovation from the employer also. For which I said curiosity is important, critical thinking is important, then only innovation happens. And then in India, at least in India, we understand that the word disabled is not being used. Now we call it specially abled. And in recent times, we have started calling Viklang people as Divyang people. So these terms may not have come in the report yet, but we, at least for India, we understand that this is what we mean in the DEI program. When we say inclusion, then we need to think of specially able and Divyang people also. And these programs, DEI programs, focus on comprehensive DEI training for management and staff. 51% people saying that. So training still, while this is a buzzword if you want to call it, I say this is the requirement, need of the hour, but still there is a huge gap. People do not understand this well. So organizations need to spend time, money, and effort on training people on this. And this, for me, at least when I was analyzing this report, I'm saying there are two surprises. The last should be at the top. When I'm saying last is employ a DEI officer. When we are saying DEI program is important, but there is no DEI officer, that should be the first priority at the top. That's what I mean to say. And then only we say that that officer should look into the training of people. Supply chain appears for the first time. And TPRM, which is third-party risk management, so linked to supply chain, is gaining focus in all operational resilience mandates and guidelines. Few weeks ago, we had spent time in one of these webinars on operational risk management and operational resilience also. Being resilient the RBI way. That was the topic we covered that day, that week. I've studied about 20 guides or standards from 20 different countries on operational resilience. And based on that, I have put in this statement here that TPRM, third-party risk management, is gaining popularity, if you want to use that word, or that is becoming the need of the hour. Going deep, that we used to say third party means a vendor in simplest terms. Well, when I teach TPRM, I go deep into and I explain that there's much more than just the vendor there, but assume for ease, vendor or third party. The expectation from all these mandates, guidelines is to go to fourth, fifth, and sixth party also. Because your vendor may have a vendor. Vendor's vendor may have vendor. So need to go deep as we can, as deep as we need to. That's what the need or requirement expectation is today. Again, a question, and again, I'm expecting people to write in the chat box. What are your views on AI adoption by various organizations? You can think of your own organization also, or you can think of any other organization. Your responses in the chat box, please. I'm looking at chat box. What are your views on AI adoption? Anyone and everyone can respond. And once again, there is no right wrong answer to this question. You could type a sentence also, phrase, few words, and you may also say this is bad. It is natural adoption may differ in scale and level. Very good. Thank you very much. I would say AI useful for aged humans. Very good. Students are using it. Everyone is using it. Everyone should be using it, I would say. It's mean the work goes so long because AI is unstoppable. Okay. So that is the risk associated with a technology adoption. If you ask me my views, AI is just like risk. AI is also inevitable. AI is good. There is no doubt about it. Full stop, I will say. But yes, it has a risk associated with it. Biggest risk is that it is the technology. It's artificial. So this is how I use AI. I say, and we should all be using it according to me, that I use my eyes and my eye intelligence before the AI and after the AI. So the report says there will be equal distribution of work among the men, machine, and the combination by 2030. Currently, the distribution is like this. But by 2030, next 5 years or so, we see that this is almost equal distribution, 33% across technology, and people and combined. So increased dependency on technology will bring increased risks. So we need to be good at risk management. This session leads us to risk management. I'll be happy to come back and deliver a session on risk management. This needs increased investment of time, money, and effort in resilience. Nothing comes free in this world. If you want to be more resilient, we need to spend more time and money and effort. And I may change the order. We need to spend more time, effort, if required, money also. When it comes to learning, there's a lot that is available in the world free, but sometimes we should be open to invest in ourselves. This is not an expenditure, according to me. The learning budgets are investments into our future to be more resilient. Next question that was asked to the participants in the report for producing the report was, how will businesses respond to AI developments? And that says, my interpretation analysis of slide, good signs that downsizing the workforce is only the last resort. This is a good news for all of us who were worried because of the first question, the biggest challenge, 7,000 people being removed. It's only at the last 41% saying that they will be downsizing the workforce because of AI. The most assuring, I would say, perhaps in the discussion of 45 minutes. Upskilling and reskilling are the top priorities. That's what we see here, 77%. We started with this and we are almost coming to end with the same statement, upskilling and reskilling to become riper. And no one says no to AI. There is no such response that we will not use AI. So that's the way forward, I would like to say. Over half of the employers expect to increase the share of revenue allocated to wages. Second good news, assuring good news. Over half of employers expect to increase the share of revenue allocated to wages. So it reflects a broader shift towards recognizing the value of human capital and addressing wage inflation trends globally. This trend underlines the importance of workforce engagement and retention strategies. For retention, we had discussed earlier, money is not the only point consideration. I look forward to what learning opportunities does this organization provide me? What upskilling, reskilling opportunities does this organization provide me? Higher wages may help organizations attract and retain skilled talent. So we had seen the challenge that talent retention, talent management would be a challenge. Towards the end, we come to know that employers are saying we will invest in wages also, because that's a way to attract and retain skilled talent, which is critical for operational continuity. Linked to rising expectations for skill enhancement, automation, and technology enhancement. And the last point I'm making here on this slide is signals. This slide, these trends, this data signals, according to my analysis, employers' recognition of the importance of equitable pay and mitigating social risks like employee dissatisfaction or turnover. My suggestion is that employees should also be treated as customers. They are internal customers, according to me. So if you talk of customer delight, we should talk of employee delight also in the same way. Coming to close of my discussion, so I'm saying, finally, shaping the future with resilience and innovation. Embrace change, these are few words. The job market is transforming rapidly, driven by technology, sustainability, and automation. Resilience practitioners, and we all are resilience practitioners. We all must treat ourselves as resilience practitioners, must lead the way in addressing both opportunities and risks. So these opportunities and risks go hand in hand. We should not deny this fact. Prioritize skills development. Upskilling and reskilling are non-negotiable for workforce resilience. Creative thinking, adaptability, and technological literacy are key for success. Foster inclusivity. DEI comes into picture here with this bullet. Engaging women, persons with disabilities, Divyangs, and Gen Z through innovative approaches ensures a diverse and empowered workforce. Balance human and machine collaboration. This is linked with AI and other technology. By 2030, the equilibrium between human and machine efforts will redefine operational efficiency and resilience strategies. Invest in resilience. Invest in yourself. This investment doesn't mean money necessarily. This means time and effort also. Organizations must view resilience as a comprehensive strategy that encompasses not just technology, but also talent, competency management, and equitable practices. The future awaits. Future is bright, according to me. These are my final words. Resilience is not just about surviving change. It is about thriving in a dynamic, ever-evolving landscape. Let us commit to creating a workforce and organizations ready for the challenges and opportunities of 2025 and beyond, looking at 5-year strategies with respect to, in line with this report, World Economic Forum's Future of Jobs Report 2025. Why should we do this? Because resilient people make resilient organizations that make resilient organizations, which will make the resilient planet that we all look forward to. If you can find this, very easy to find this. David Bailey, very senior person with the Bank of England, recently said, resilience promotes competition, competitiveness, and growth, full stop. This is what I picked up from about 30-minute speech there. If anyone had to sell resilience internally to top management, because I have been saying repeatedly, nothing comes free in this world. If you want to be riper, redeployable, retainable, then we need to invest. And that investment is time, effort, but money also. The selling point is through this speech and this one phrase or sentence. Resilience promotes competition, competitiveness, and growth. Who doesn't look forward to growth? With this, I would like to stop here. Thank you very much, you all, and I would like to hand it over back to Dr. Ritika. But if any questions ever, please feel free to write to me about resilience as a whole, about IEEE Delhi section. We will never forget that, because that's a great platform that we all have got. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for the enlightening deliberation. I'm sure this insightful session has enlightened the participants about the upcoming scenario. And yes, there is a question by the participant I'll now like to take up with your permission, sir.
Yes, please.
Sir, we have a question. If the job seeker remains open to continuous learning, to remaining competitive, will the employer also be ready to give competitive compensation and career development opportunities?
I believe yes. This is as simple as that. It has to happen. We should also keep in mind, as employer as well as employees, that the business of business is, what is the business of business? I do not have, once again, proof. I have not seen it myself, but I was told that someone few years ago got Nobel Prize on this topic, that the business of business is making money, as simple as that. I will add to that, making money in ethical ways, ethically. And one of the sessions, once again, in these webinars, we had spent time on ethics, IEEE ethics, Code of Ethics, etc. That's very important. So my expectation also, if I'm the employee, would be this, that if I learn more, if I invest more in my learning, then there should be compensation also accordingly. But I'm saying if I change the role, I become the employer. Yes, I would like to answer yes to this question. Yes.
Absolutely, sir. So one more question we have. Will this change actually lead to a divide between high skill, high paying jobs and low skill, low paying jobs and widen this gap, potentially leading to increased income inequality?
I do not have data with me to prove this right or wrong. When I say prove this right or wrong, means this perception that we have. If I take quickly an example, most of us are technologists, right? Most of us, I'm assuming in the session, in the IEEE fraternity also. And we are highly skilled people. I'm not saying whether we are highly paid or not, but assume that we are paid accordingly, appropriately. What comes to mind is, if I look around, assume example with due respect to that person, a plumber, that is low skill job. Is it low pay also? Go and do the calculations. It's possible that some of such jobs, which appear to be either low skilled, semi skilled, may be earning more than many of us, some of us. So, not necessarily that there is a big gap. But traditionally, it seems there has been a gap or difference in the lifestyle. Plumber works perhaps 15 hours, while most of us work only 8 hours. That may be a difference. And then he makes, assume, equal or almost equal salary also. But some of them do not earn daily. That may be the gap. And that's why their lifestyle may not appear to be as good as our lifestyle. So comparatively, perhaps it will go down. My salary, for example, and a plumber's salary, a painter's salary. Some of these jobs are seasonal, occasional. For 5 days, they are earning 5,000 per day, assume, which is very good. But for next 5 days, they may not have any painting job. So difficult to answer. I'm again saying this question, whether the divide will increase. And if I'm worried, once again, I keep taking my own examples. If I'm worried about this divide, what should I be doing? Pay more to the painter and the plumber. But many of us don't do that. We need to improve upon ourselves also. Always, I take an action on myself, and that's why my suggestion will be to the group also. Start paying according to the skills, not necessarily that is plumbing job, so it's bad or low. No. I can't do it myself, as simple as that. I'm dependent on that person. So I should attempt to pay well. Thank you.
Absolutely, sir. Very rightly said. And thank you so much for this wonderful session, because I think this session is going to be relevant in the upcoming near future, because this is the truth of the present time, that the upcoming job market is changing very rapidly. And as you gave the basic thing, that all of us, if we want to remain sustainable in this market, we need to upskill, reskill ourselves continuously through our life. So thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for this wonderful session. But we will not end the session before we thank you with a token of remembrance for this wonderful session today. Huda sir had to leave for an important meeting. Sir, please
Understood.
accept this certificate from our side as a wonderful remembrance to this session today.
Thank you very much.
We also have a small e-memento. Thank you, sir. Thank you once again for this
Thank you very
wonderful.
much.
So thank you so much, sir.
Can I take your leave now?
Sure, sir. Thank you
Thank
so
you very
much.
much, and all the best, everyone. Keep looking forward to these webinars this year specifically, because this is the golden jubilee year for Delhi section, but I'm sure we will continue beyond that May 26th also. So keep looking forward to these webinars. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Absolutely, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Dear participants, with this, we have come to an end to this wonderful webinar today. Our next webinar is planned on 28th of June. Please register yourself for the same. Note down the dates in your diaries. Feedback form for this particular session has already been shared with all the participants in the chat window. I would request the participants, please click on the same. Fill in your details carefully. Please do not make mistakes while filling in your details carefully, because until and unless you submit your details correctly, they would not go correctly into your certificate of participation. So please fill in your details correctly, submit the feedback form, and generate your own certificate of participation for today's session.